Sweet. Have you seen these shoes?
Yeah, they're great.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, they're great, I tell you. And everybody's got the same. I haven't got the same, eh?
Yeah, no. I think my shoes are a little bit more comfortable than your shoes today.
I think so, yeah. Can I have a pair?
Yeah, we might need to get you some.
Yeah, why not?
Hey everybody, welcome on into the Big Access Podcast. My name is Brock Benson. I'm the Director of Marketing and the host over here at PDK for this podcast. And we are on site here at ISC West showing off all of our latest and greatest products and features to a lot of different people. It's been a fantastic show. There's been people all over. It seems like ISC of old. Have you ever been to one before?
Yeah.
And so
every year.
Does this seem like it's busier?
It's really busy. It's really great.
It's great.
Unbelievable.
So I'm loving the fact that ISC is back and that there's a ton of people here. It's been a fantastic show. But my guest today is Don Tummillo. Is that how you say it?
Tummillo.
Tummillo?
Yeah.
Okay. And you are all the way here from Australia.
Yeah, it is.
You have come a long ways. How long was that flight to get here?
About 15 hours. I think all over it's about 21 hours door to door. Yeah.
21 hours door to door to get here.
Yeah.
Man, that just shows you how important this show is.
Yeah, we love
You
it.
came all the way over here.
Sure.
It's great. And so you're one of our dealers down there in Australia.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
so PDK is a global company. We've got systems all over the globe, and Don is one of the fantastic guys who's down under.
Yeah.
So it's
exactly right.
It's awesome. What caused you to first off find PDK and then get interested in learning more and suddenly start putting systems out there?
Well, it's a crazy story. So I think the first thing when I came to ISCS a few years back, I saw PDK, and the only thing that stood out was a yellow box.
There you go.
So it was crazy. So when I saw that yellow box, I said, hey, what's that? And then started diving into it. It was all just cloud-based access control. And guess what? We needed that. Never had it in Australia. And, we came into Australia with a cloud access control system.
That's awesome. So, that just goes to show you the importance of ISC, right? Go and learn more about what's out there. And so that's really cool. I didn't realize that you were actually a lead from an ISC show from a few years ago.
It was.
That's cool.
Exactly right.
So talk to me about cloud access. You said that you don't really have that down in Australia. So it's a little bit different having a cloud-based security system down there, right?
Absolutely.
So what are the benefits that you are able to talk to your customers about and really get them to buy into the cloud?
Well, it's pretty simple. It's your slogan: anywhere, anytime, any place. I suppose. I think it's you can use the product anywhere.
Yeah.
And the great thing that sort of a lot of issues out is that you can actually assist and support dealers without being there with them. You can see exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
So time saving, deployment away from the client's premises. All of those things are basically instantaneous,
right?
Which we loved, And it was like you don't have to have a piece of software on a PC and waiting where that PC is, or a technician's got the PC. Just log on to the URL and everybody's happy. Yeah,
that's great. So that's how simple it is, right? You either can log on from a desktop just using a URL like you mentioned. You can use the ProdataKey app as well, so just where you're on the go. You can be able to access your system anytime, anywhere.
Exactly.
Be able to configure a device while you're on the go. You mentioned remote troubleshooting.
Yes.
Remote troubleshooting is giant, right? It's one of those situations where you don't have to go roll a truck out there to go diagnose a system issue if there is one, right? But talk to me about a situation where you might have to call into tech support, because obviously you guys are in Australia. You're in a totally different time zone than we are here in America, right? So is having access through our 24/7 tech support, beneficial for you?
Well, to be frank with you, we do all the tech support in Australia.
Oh, okay then.
So we very, very rarely need your support.
Yeah.
And that's how good PDK is. It's like, wow, it's so easy. You can diagnose a problem.
Yeah.
So we don't really rely too much on, the American support, because our team's already got that experience, and away we go. So when you guys are sleeping, we're working.
No, that is fantastic. I'm excited to hear, about how well everything's been going for you guys there. I know you were just over here showing it off. Don over here is sitting here trying to sell PDK to other people while
well, you see,
Whoa! Oh, look at that! Look at that! The PDK logo on the shirt, dude. I like that. Yeah, it's been funny. Don came over to come and do this podcast with us, and he's over here selling PDK at our booth. He's just one of our sales guys.
Yeah, well,
I've got you on the payroll.
I've got my customers here right behind us. We're ready to come across the PDK, and that's what we're here for.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, Don, is there anything else about PDK that kind of sticks out to you as being beneficial? Something that you absolutely love.
Yeah, what we really love is that when there is an update or an upgrade on a PDK system, it just happens.
Yeah.
Automatically. You don't have to go and flash new software in there. We just basically automatically, it's there. Like the latest feature was offline.
Yep.
And like we discussed it. How good is that?
That's fantastic.
And all of a sudden you can have millions of users on one door controller, and they all operate offline.
You bring up a very good point that I think is really important, right? One of the big values of cloud is the ability to constantly update those features, which includes security enhancements,
Absolutely.
Right? Anytime that, as we all know, there are a ton of security threats out there, and they are constantly advancing and getting crazier and crazier. And so our engineering team is able to look at these, latest hacking methods or latest security vulnerabilities that are made known out there. They proactively go out and look at our system, see if we're vulnerable, and if they are, they make a patch for it right then and there. They push that out to the cloud. That goes out to every system across the globe, even if it's down under in Australia,
exactly right.
and it updates. So you are going to be more secure today than you were yesterday.
Correct.
Thanks to cloud security.
Exactly
You wouldn't
right.
have that with an on-premise system, right? An on-premise system, you install it and it is what it is. It's not getting updates without you having to go out and update a driver or manually update firmware that's on controllers. And you're also very susceptible to operating systems. If an operating system on an on-site computer goes down or is no longer supported,
correct,
what do you got to do?
Exactly.
You got to replace an entire access control system at that point.
So now we're talking about the updates on software or firmware, and it's instantaneous. But there's another really big thing in Australia, which I don't know if you guys have identified it. But when you've got technicians, now we've got a lot of companies that have got many technicians, like 20 or 30.
Yeah.
And so at the moment you've got them having a laptop computer with their software of that access control, and they've got to go on site and plug it in. Now when those technicians are basically on holidays or they're gone sick and they've got to do a service call at a particular site, guess what? They can't do that service call because that technician's at home.
Right.
So that's been critical. But what happens also when a technician's left the employment?
Oh.
Hey, what happens now? With us, with PDK, guess what we do? We log on and take him off. And he's
pretty simple, right?
He can go home and try to sabotage. We're talking about security,
Yeah.
So he can go home and say, I'm going to log on to that client. Hey, he can't do that anymore with cloud access control.
That's right.
Instantaneously, he's offline. He can't access any access control system. So that's something that's really been one of our go-to-market and strategies to convert a lot of these clients back to PDK. So, which is great for large organisations. They don't have to stress out and say, oh gosh, I've got to get my laptop back. Oh, doesn't matter with PDK. Just take his access off his computer.
Yeah.
So it's a real good feature. We love it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, we're just about out of time.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining us on this Big Access podcast.
No problem.
I can't believe you came all the way from Australia, but it's fantastic to finally meet you in person. I know we've talked on the phone quite a bit, and it was always, that little window whenever you try calling me, and I'm like, oh, okay, Don's calling me.
Yeah.
So it's been great.
But it's great seeing the team. It's amazing. Yes. Everybody's welcoming me over here, and they love it. And just got to thank the PDK team. You guys are awesome.
Well, thank you again. For those of you guys who are at home watching or listening, be sure to subscribe to this podcast, leave it a 5-star rating, and let us know if there's anything that you are looking to learn in particular, and we'll be sure to add that to our backlog. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you next week.
Thank you. See ya.